guys, I just want to bring you this quick review on this Porter cable 2-tool kit that I picked up about 5 months ago at Lowe's. Got it out the door for about 100 and I think it's 110 bucks or something like that. It was on sale for like $99, $98, whatever. I got it back around just a little before Thanksgiving. Anyways, it's a 2-tool kit with impact driver, which is here. It's got the rubber over molding on the handle. It's real comfortable. Seems like if you had sweaty hands, it would, it'd be fine. I've used it a few times. My hands have gotten sweaty, and I haven't had any issues with it, slipping or anything like that. It's got this quick release chuck here on the front, and I'm going to kind of aim it toward the table here. You pull out on it, and it pops right out of there. It's got a little bit of a spring pressure on there, although I don't think it would shoot across the room, but still you want to kind of have your hand ready to catch it whenever it pops out so you don't lose it. Works real good. I have no problems with that. This is metal. This little metal collar on here, so I really like that it's not plastic or something, something chintzy. It's feels really well built. Both of these tools have this this little extra rubber bit right here, that right in this area and in this area, and that rubber, hopefully that'll pick up on the camera there, it sticks out, it protrudes out of the sides just about a 1/4 inch or so, maybe a little more, and it's on both sides of the drill. And the idea is that it protects this case, this plastic, from cracking or breaking when you set it down on the table, or you drop it throw it in the back of your toolbox on your truck or whatever. But it feels good. I like that. I think that's pretty smart engineering that went into that, and maybe other tools have that. It's got a protection area back here as well to protect these fins, which these are always notorious for breaking on all drills, because they get hot there and they get brittle. So that was smart thinking, I think, and kind of shows that they're building these tools to last. It's got a magnetic holder up here on the top. I really like that. I think that's one of the best features about this thing. And this honestly, it doesn't have a lot of features. This is one of the, I guess, probably the lowest end that they make. But it's plenty powerful. I've taken lug nuts off the car. Now, if they're rusty and they've been on there for 40 years, and it's probably not going to take those off. You're probably going to need a real air impact, or possibly a big long cheater bar and a breaker bar combo, and a lot of grunting. But either way, this tool here for regular normal lug nuts that haven't been on there 40 years, this thing works great. It's got a variable speed trigger, so you can control how fast you're running the bolts in or pulling them out, whatever. It makes it nice. The switch is nice, positive action switch, so you can tell when it's clicked over. And it also has a middle neutral, I guess, or in between, where it kind of locks the trigger, or a safety, I'm not sure what to call it, but it's in between forward and reverse. That's my dog groaning over there. Lay down, buddy. Lay down. Anyhow, no buttons, no extra switches up here for, some of the higher end ones I've noticed they have different settings. So if you're wanting a little bit less torque, you can get that. Well, this one's basically all or nothing, and there may be applications where this wouldn't be the best. It may strip out bolts or whatever if you're not paying attention. So whatever you're doing, if you're running a whole bunch of sheet metal screws or something like that, you might try 1 or 2 to start with on a test spot. That doesn't matter, to make sure that this thing doesn't strip them out. But I haven't had any issues with that. So I think a lot of it is when it's sitting there doing its hammering and it's clicking and it's pushing the bolt in. I think a lot of that is that you don't want to go any farther than you have to with it. If you overdo any bolt, it's going to strip. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't have a lot of those extra features on it and stuff, but so far I haven't needed them. This thing does not have the battery meter. The next level up had the battery meter. This kit did not. And I'm not sure if that's built in here or if it's actually built in to the battery. You might be able to just buy batteries that have those. I don't know. Speaking of that, battery life's great. I have yet to run one of these standard batteries dead or even low, to be honest. So, and I've put it through its paces. Both of these tools, I've run them pretty hard and I'm surprised. Every time I use them, they always have a charge, and I can get plenty of use out of them to get my job done. So I'm real happy with that. And I didn't have an impact driver, and I wanted to try one. I'd seen a whole bunch of videos on them, and they looked real neat. And I thought, well, I'd like to have one, but I didn't want to spend $300 or $400 on a Milwaukee or a Makita or a DeWalt. So ended up going with this Porter cable kit. And also, some of that's based on my experience. I have a grinder that I've had for many years, made by Porter Cable, and I've cut through some really thick steel and you name it. I've cut blocks with the thing. I know I probably shouldn't have done that, but that was the tool I had to do it with, and so I used it and it got it done. So Porter Cable, everything I've had so far, I've liked it. Anyways, this is the drill. Pretty basic drill. It's got the rubber over molding, just like it's essentially the same. I believe from here back there's not a whole lot of difference except for this switch right here. As you can see, it's got a high and a low. I'll get you to focus here. That's a little better. Okay, it's got a high and a low. Right now it's on 2. Now it's on 1. And even that, I like the way when I flip a switch, I want to hear it click in there and make sure, I want to know that it's locked in. It's not going to be in between, hung up or something like that. So I really like that. You can tell they thought about this stuff when they put it together. Just like the impact, the trigger feels good. Something I didn't discuss was it has a light on the front here. I'm blinding you. Either way, if you just, some people were complaining about this. It was one of the complaints I saw. As you can see, as I lightly touch the trigger, the light comes on, okay? Well, the Makita and some of the other ones, they have lights up here, and they have, disco lights all over them, and they stay on for 20 seconds, and yada yada. Well, I don't really find that I need that. This is perfect. I get in there, I find where I'm fixing to drill the hole or put the screw in, I barely touch the trigger like this, the light comes on, I run my screw, the job is done. I don't see why you need a disco light on the front of your drill to get the job done. But hey, to each his own. If you want to have a disco party under the cabinet, you go right ahead. I think this one little light is more than I've ever had, and it's really good. Some people were complaining that it's too low and you can't. Well, this thing, if you get it in the dark cabinet, it really lights it up. So I'm impressed with it. It doesn't stay on. Instantly it goes off as soon as you let off. But you can see I'm just barely squeezing. Comes on. Squeeze a little more, and the motor comes on. So pretty good unit. Let's see. Let's get to complaints. I really only have one complaint about this drill and the impact driver, just the whole kit. Now, 2 complaints, but one complaint that's about design, and it's this. This bit right here. If you can see, it's down by the battery in front of the handle, which is where you've got a lot going on here. When you're up on a ladder and you're moving around, even just doing that, I felt the edge of that Phillips screw, or that flathead screwdriver sticking up there. And if you're not paying attention, and it's gotten me a couple of times, it will get you. When you come off of that, when you put it up on your table or whatever, and you come off of that, it can cut your pinky, or if you come down with your other hand, you can slice it right here. It's really bad on this side with the flathead. So one of the things you got to do is you got to make sure it's like right in the middle. That kind of helps. But I wish they would have done it like the impact that I showed you. All they'd have had to do, I say this, there may be a reason they can't do it, but I would have liked to have seen them put it right here with the magnet set up, just like the other one. It's out of the way. It's not gonna, it's not gonna bother you. It's not gonna cut you or anything like that. And I just don't see why they didn't do that. Maybe it's something to do with the way this case is designed back here. I don't know. But either way, that's really my only complaint about the drill. The kit itself, if I had to complain about one other thing, if I was just nitpicking, come on, a tool bag. I wouldn't put even these $100, $50 a piece tools here. I wouldn't carry them around in a tool bag because they're just not going to last. You really need if you're going to be using these in a toolbox in a truck, or using them commercially every day, you really need a box. You don't want to have this bouncing around and having stuff getting stacked on it, and it will break something. So the bags to me are a little bit chintzy, but that's how they keep it at $100, so I can't complain too much. But either way, I recommend this tool to anybody. All my friends, I tell them, hey, I love these Porter cables because they're cheap and they're good. They're just flat good. I mean, the thing just does what it's supposed to do, and that's kind of rare today. That's why I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you guys this tool, and hopefully that'll help you decide if you're on the fence about it. Just go ahead and go get it. I recommend it. 2 thumbs up. Porter Cable did a great job on this. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I bought these tools with my own money, so this is an honest review. It's not obviously a professional quality. This is just one guy as a homeowner and a handyman that uses these tools quite frequently, and I expect perfection even at $100 entry-level price point. I want the stuff. $100 is a lot of money still to me, so I want it to work well, and it does that. So anyways, that's my review. Go ahead and go look at them yourself. I believe Lowe's has them there in store, and you can look at their display and kind of pick them up and feel them. Some of the other tools that I compared with this one were the Ryobi. I also looked at the Makita. I looked at Rigid and Milwaukee. I was kind of a little bit soured on DeWalt just because I had such a bad experience with my last battery packs on them, and I didn't want to give them any more of my money right now. So anyways, Porter Cable. Have a great day.